Hey, heidi-ho, guys. For a long time in America, decades, it's been relatively acceptable for retired folks to buy an RV and travel on the road. They're called snowbirds. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of older folks doing that, going from RV park to RV park, and it's kind of acceptable. When you mention to somebody that you've bought a school bus and you're converting it into an RV, the first thing they're going to do is get this visual in their head. Well, here comes a farm tractor. Hold on, we'll see if the noise drives us too crazy. Looks like he's cutting hay. Anyhow, when you mention to somebody that you're going to live in a school bus, they get this horrible visual in their head of a 1960s hippie bus headed for Woodstock. And you can't get that out of your head once you do. There's a stigma. What I thought I would do is share with you some practical reasons why a school bus is more advantageous than an RV. And I see postings every once in a while online, people asking the same question. So here are my 5 reasons that a school bus building out a Skoolie is a better idea than buying an RV and retiring on the road in an RV. Number 1. Oh, and these are not in any particular order. You can interchange them however you might feel it would affect your life. Number 1, cost. I went online and I found some postings on eBay of Class A and Class C RVs. Now these are not brand new, but obviously cost is exorbitant. The thing is, if you want to enjoy a nomadic lifestyle, there are studies out there that say people spend 47% of their take-home pay on housing. Sticks and bricks housing, a house, an apartment, whatever, renting, buying. There's no sense trading a mortgage on a house for a great big huge loan on an RV. Now, my budgeting for our Skoolie isn't complete. But so far, including the cost of the bus and more solar than we could ever need, I'm looking at $12,500. It'll probably go up from that because I haven't included a lot of the incidental costs. Go to the hardware store and buy that new extra box of screws, or, something always comes up. I need a fitting to connect this pipe to that pipe. It gets expensive as it goes. So under 20,000, okay? Which for poor folk like my wife and I is an important thing. An RV, if you want a decent used RV, you're going to pay that much. If you want to haul a fifth wheeler or a trailer, you might have to buy a new pickup truck, and they're $50,000. One thing I have noticed, when you buy a new RV, first thing that's going to happen, they're going to charge you like $2,500 or $3,000 to inspect it. They're selling it to you. They should have already inspected it and made sure that they're selling you a decent product. But it's ridiculous. And they talk people into it, and they roll it into the loan, so you're just paying it off over years and years. We bought this bus for $2,750. It's in pretty darn good mechanical shape, I hope, I think. Like I said, by the time we're all said and completely done and everything's in it, and we bought a washing machine and all, we're ready to go with 1,000 watts of solar on the roof, I think we're going to be less than 20. Way less than an RV. And when you drive a new RV off the lot, the minute you hit the public street, you've lost thousands of dollars. When you're converting a Skoolie, you have the opportunity to create equity. And what do I mean by that? I'll see if I can get this in frame here, but it's a mess in here right now. I got to do some cleanup. As you can see, I'm almost done with the demolition phase of converting this bus. As we were looking for buses, we saw an awful lot of them. That's a road grader going by. Getting to the stage we are now on our bus. I could sell this bus probably for $5,000 more than I bought it for. That's amazing. An enterprising person, a lot younger and more with more vitality than I have, could start up a business. Now, there are a couple businesses out there. They're converting buses to a complete deal. And sometimes they're doing it, for clients as they go. Somebody will contract them to go find a bus and do it. But you could actually go out, find good deals on used school buses, get them to where mine is now. Yeah, maybe another day or two worth of work. Get all that old insulation off the ceiling, and I got to finish getting some of the panels off of the driver's side. Sell that bus for $5,000 more than what you paid for it. Now, in Iowa, where we live, you can buy and sell 5 vehicles a year without a dealer's license. That means you could make a okay living. Not California, where rents are so high, but here in Iowa, 25 grand a year is a pretty decent income. Just stripping out school buses and reselling them. And that's an equity thing. Now, when people get a bus fully built, they might live in it for a month or two, decide they can't keep their 4 or 5 kids in it, whatever. They are selling them for, trying to sell them for 25 grand. I see that all the time. If you do things smart, you can make money that way too. So the cost of buying an RV versus building on a school bus is much higher. Now, there's a lot of sweat equity. I have put hours and hours into this thing. But that's our first point to consider. Number 2, quality. I don't want to slam RV manufacturers. They don't make any money. Oh, this is going to run really long, this video. They don't make any money unless they're turning out units fast, because they don't make a lot of money per unit. The dealer makes a bunch of it. Somebody's got to drive the thing across the country for them. So there's a lot of pressure in the RV factories to turn out units quick. And honestly, they're not really well built. There's a popular YouTube channel, nice couple. They live in a camper on the back of a pickup truck. Some jackwagon gets out of his lane a little bit about a year ago, sideswipes their camper, and totaled it. I mean, it was just a little bump. It wasn't horrific. But the side of the camper caved in, and they had to get a new one. When you buy an RV, one thing's for certain. Sooner or later, the roof's going to leak. You're going to have trouble with leaks. They all do. We do have a leak on our bus, but that's because somebody moved the strobe light and left the holes, left the old holes. I got to seal that up. And once I do, the roof of this school bus isn't going to leak for 20 years, especially when you put something like Henry's Tropicool on it. Things break on RVs all the time. I recently watched a video on YouTube where a couple had bought I think it was a fifth wheel camper, a trailer. They had it just a couple weeks, took it back to the dealer. They had a list of 88 things that were wrong with this brand new, tens of thousands of dollars unit. The dealer had it for 2 months while they lived in a motel or with friends or some crap. Gave it back to them, and they'd only fixed about half of these 88 things. When I'm done with this school bus, everything's going to be right, because I know I did it. It's going to be the way I want it. Next thing, number 3, safety. This is the safest kind of vehicle on the road. And why do I say that? Because they build it to transport the most precious cargo there is, the children. I was a school bus driver. I call them the ingrate little bastards. One of these things, especially if it's got seat belts on the seats, is probably the safest vehicle out there. And there are dozens and dozens and dozens of examples where RVs crash and they just explode. And there are lots of examples out there where school buses hold up under tremendous blows. You can roll them. Now let me show you something. I'm going to pause the video and I'll take it off of the tripod here. Hold on just a second. I broke my hammer. Try that with your motor coach, darling. That bumper's made out of real steel. I don't know if I can show you this. It's really thick. And the back bumper's the same way. The whole vehicle, except for the hood, is made out of steel. Heavy gauge steel. And it's all tied in to those same hat channel roll bars all the way around. A very sturdy vehicle. Okay, let's talk about numbers. What are we on, number 3 or number 4? Okay, yeah, so now we're on number 4, blank slate. You can see This is an open box. See if I can pan slowly enough. That means that I'm not limited to whatever floor plan some guy at the, kind of crooked on the camera there, aren't you? Some guy at the RV manufacturer dreams up. We can fit whatever we want to fit our life inside this school bus. And we've done an awful lot of tweaking. Here's a SketchUp picture of where we're at right now. And we've included everything we need to have a very comfortable life. If something doesn't work for us, we can change it. And that's the beauty. All right. Number 5. Repairs. I posted a video a while back, somebody I respect here on YouTube, who mentioned this thing was one breakdown away from spitting us out on the asphalt. Yeah, we could have to rebuild the motor, or although it's been rebuilt just last year, got a new remanufactured transmission. Something could break. Generally, you pull this thing into, or get it towed into a diesel repair shop, they're going to let you stay in it. You're not out on the asphalt. It's your house. But other than mechanical repairs, and yeah, we're going to have some money set aside for that. And I would recommend you keep $5,000 in the bank. Not much compared to buying an RV. Everything inside, though, is going to be the kind of stuff you can buy at Home Depot. And since I did all the work, guess who knows exactly how that pipe runs and where it goes behind that wall? The dummy. Guess who knows if that wire doesn't have, that outlet isn't working, where the power comes from, or to look to see if there's a short. The old idiot. That's the thing about building out a Skoolie. All of the internal house kind of stuff, the electrical, the solar, the plumbing, all of it, I know. And yeah, I've got some experience at that stuff, and I'm going to try as we go along to show you every trick I can. But if you take your RV in to get the plumbing repaired at one of these camping places, I don't want to say the name because I don't want to slam anybody, but the next word starts with a W, and you know which one I mean. It's going to cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars to fix a little leak. The dumb old fart already knows how to do that. Okay, hopefully this hasn't run incredibly long. I'm going to give you one more bonus. You ready? Okay, so I already gave you my 5 reasons. Here's an extra bonus. The lowest spot on our school bus, most all of them, is the bottom of the pumpkin on the, it's called the pumpkin, on the rear differential. And I went underneath, crawled under there, and measured. And we got a little under 14 inches. Pretty good ground clearance. Most RVs get stuck in the wild, out in the middle of nowhere, when they go down through a wash or a little valley, a creek, dry creek bed. You go down, the front end comes back up. That makes the back drop, and it drags and gets stuck. When you're out and about, look at RVs and see how low the ground clearance is. They don't have very much. This is a little under 28.5 inches. You can't beat that in an RV. All right, we'll get through this, and I'll see you next time.